Hello everyone, this time I want to explain how to drive without traction control and why you shouldn't use it if you want to be faster. Without going too much into technicality, the traction control is most commonly used to avoid spinning when you accelerate, usually at the exit of a corner. This is particularly true the more power you have at your disposal. In a less powerful car you wouldn't need it as much as an LMP1 car, for example. Traction control keeps you from spinning by limiting the amount of power transmitted to the wheels when you push the throttle too hard. This in one hand keeps you from spinning all the traction at the rear, but on the other hand it holds you back to accelerate as much as you would like. Usually the threshold of power in which the traction control kicks in is in a step behind the optimal amount of power you actually need. That's the reason why practicing throttle inputs is mandatory to gain as much time as possible and thus be faster. The first main suggestion I could give to you is the following. Go full throttle is the last thing you should do at the end of the corner, or a series of corner. The second suggestion is that you should go full throttle only when you are in a straight line, or almost in a straight line, or you're already accelerating. The third is that you should picture your initial power input like a syringe. You should gradually increasing your acceleration more and more until you go full power. I'll show you what I mean with those few examples. In this first example, I will push the gas pedal to the max in the middle of the corner while I'm turning, and that is causing the car to spin. In this second example, I will apply full throttle only when I'm on a straight line, but from zero acceleration. This will not have the same disastrous consequence as the previous example, but still there's some time lost because we are starting to accelerate a little bit too late. On more powerful cars, we need to point out that not all the power that we're putting on the floor is used to move the car in that case. And on top of that, we're also destroying our tires by doing so, because we are moving the wheels abruptly from zero to maximum acceleration all in one go. Even if we are on a straight line, we are losing some tire life. In the next example, instead, we are gradually put the power on like it was a syringe that I told you before. We will see now that the car is turning normally, no more spinning whatsoever. However, we might find it a little bit too slow, especially at the exit of the corner. So we saw on the last example that going gradually could be a little bit too slow on the exit of the corner, and that's when the practice comes in. The more you're driving a certain car without traction control, you might find a certain spot on the exit of the corner where you could throw caution out of the wind and say, hey, I can go full speed from here. And this is clear in the last example, when we are exiting the corner, applying the gradual input as before, but as soon as we feel that the car can resist the stress, we are smashing the gas pedal. Once you understood the basics of throttle modulation, you will also be able to understand another crucial concept, which is using the throttle to steer the car. This usually comes handy in high-speed corners, but you might easily find out that could be applied on any corner. Let's assume you are turning your steering wheel at the 45-degree angle. The slower you're going, the tighter the car will turn. This means that even if you're on the steering, or you want just the car to turn more, one thing that you could do is to leave the throttle and thus reduce your speed. A prime example of this technique is turn 4 and 5 in Fuji. This corner starts in the 7th degree, then becomes tighter. Using the brake will lose too much time and probably will cause accident or some mayhem. So the technique here is to accelerate as much as possible and then lift the throttle to decrease the speed and let the car turn more. This will not only help you to make corners better, but also to be a cleaner racer. The most basic example is when you have a car on the outside and there's a lot of people that are trying to leave space to the other car by just turning more on the inside. But unfortunately, if you still have full throttle, this will be not good enough. and thus you're forcing the other car to the outside against your wheel. A slight adjustment that you could have done is to or lift the throttle a little bit, or just waiting at the exit of the corner a little bit more to go full throttle until you see that the car has turned enough to make space for the other car. This will impact your speed, but it will improve your racecraft as well. That's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. Until the next time, bye.